Heathen Thought of the Day. Welcome to Heathen. What's been going on in that noggin of yours?
Yes, my thought is inspired by a film we watched very recently.
Mm-hmm.
And the thought is...
It must be really recent, seeing as, yeah.
Suspense is an art, not just a blank screen.
I'm completely aware of the moves that you were going on about, and I thought it was full of artistic integrity. Like, let's just leave the camera here and look at this really inspiring, interesting landscape.
You know, for something to be suspenseful, you can't just start with nothing. You have to have some emotion building up to it and some sort of feeling that something's going to happen. You can't just open a film up and have nothing on there and think that that's like, ooh.
You must be quite passionate about this, because we can't really go into too much about it, because it's going to be one of the next episodes of one that we watched last week, so you'll bring up the same stuff then. So we'll leave that there. We'll move on to my thoughts. And recently we have been hitched in Sicily, hence this yellow shirt, the lemons of Sicily. And while we were there, I took a lot of footage of Palermo in particular.
Yeah, he was telling his wife to get out of the shot so that he could, you know...
You're ruining the shot. And,
on our honeymoon, essentially.
And a mini honeymoon. And going over the landscape of the place, panoramic views, things like this, it struck me, has anyone filmed a horror movie in Sicily? And it turns out not. There is one which has apparently a few horror elements in terms of the supernatural. It came out in 2017. I think it was called A Sicilian Ghost Story. Can anybody hear me over
Yeah, that is such a
Heathrow
loud
airplanes?
plane.
I think we left the window open.
You were saying?
And obviously the people that have ruled Sicily before, particularly Islamic countries, all of the architecture is still there, and it lends itself superbly to horror. Any kind of religious buildings lend themselves superbly to horror. And I was thinking to myself, I'd really love to come back to Palermo and film a horror movie here. Even parts of Heathen Part 2 could absolutely be filmed in Palermo. So I asked a few people around, and I wasn't getting no's that you can't film here, there, or the other. So I think also the people of Palermo would welcome something like this, because it's not like we can go to Iraq, to Mosul, to Hatra like they did with The Exorcist anymore, because world leaders have ruined life for everybody. Although I do know a guy from Iraq who would be more than happy, I'm sure, to take us there. But even though I don't live my life in fear, I probably wouldn't risk going to Iraq at this point. But Palermo has very similar architecture.
We actually got shooed out of the bishop's current residence. John, being a tourist, the gates have been left open for some reason, and John's like, oh, this is pretty, this must be part of the tour that we paid for, and he just wanders in, and within a few seconds, some Italian guy, to be fair, he was really nice about it, but he's like, yeah, you can't be here, this is where the current bishop is living, so please leave.
The bishop was expecting me.
Of course, yeah, you'd set time for tea, hadn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
So as well as New Orleans now,
absolutely,
because
adding to the list.
And I also love places like Bucharest and everything, but Palermo is now, it really has gone to another level, and it would work for Heathen. So that is what is currently occupying my mind, because this country is going down the pan.